Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. So I got a few questions regarding my recording gear, and I wanted to make this quick video to share because I mean it's it's really not a secret. You know, if you want to make cool videos and if you want to find out how I take some shots that I do, well, not take some shots, but take some shots. All right, some video shots. Yes, the pictures. Well, here you go. This video is for you guys if you're interested in the videography or cinematography behind Ultimate Survival Gear. Alright, so my go-to camera is this one that I'm recording right now for all my reviews, for all sitting videos, whatever. But this camera I rarely even take on my adventures, and this is a Sony ZV-1, which is an absolutely fantastic vlogging camera. And one of the reasons why it is fantastic for vlogging is because it has lightning speed autofocus. So right now I'm nice and focused, but if I'm showing you something, I'm showing you this thing right here, and bam, and it switches the focus to this thing, which is great, all right? But the reason why I don't take it on any of my hikes, for the most part, well, I rarely do sometimes, is because the stabilization is just unbearable. I did only one hike. It was, I believe, my Appalachian Trail trip with the ZV-1, and I was walking and talking, and the focus was great. You know, quality is beautiful. The colors that the camera picks are just, I don't have to do any editing. It already looks great. ZV-1 is an excellent vlogging camera, but not for walking. If you are walking with the ZV-1, especially in places like Appalachian Trail, in Tennessee, North Carolina, where there's like rocky stuff, it's too bouncy. So unfortunately I had to kind of retire it from my hiking trips, and I had to get back to the camera that I probably have the love-hate relationship the most, and it is the GoPro. And as you can see now, I have the newest one that they have is the Hero 10 Black, which is a fantastic camera. Quality is not the best, colors are nice, sharpness is a little weird, focus is non-existent pretty much, but the stabilization in this thing is the best one that I have found so far. And as you can see, I have the medium mode on it. I honestly am not a fan of the medium mode because it adds bulk to the camera. It makes it bigger, it makes it heavier, but without the medium mode, unfortunately, the sound is practically unusable. The onboard microphones that GoPro Hero comes with, they are just terrible, all right, to say the least. Medium mode makes it a little bit better, although I have to say, unfortunately, I don't know whose idea was that. If you guys from GoPro watching, that was a terrible idea. Before, you used to, because you have two microphones in the medium mode, you were able to use either front mic, back mic, or you could use it as stereo, which is great. That's what I always use it for. Well, now, for whatever reason, they got rid of that function, and now you can only use it front or back, which is silly because if you watched any of my actual hiking trips videos, I always, you know, like this, blah blah blah, and then I turn around and I keep talking and then I turn around. So unfortunately the sound gets much lower when I turn around because it's only a front mic now working. I cannot do stereo. Dumb. But that's not the reason why I have a love-hate relationship with this camera. Obviously I love it because of the stabilization. I mean, I honestly don't even know what you can do. Like, you can ride a bike on an absolute just insane bumpy road, and your video is still going to be very nice and stabilized and very much watchable. You guys watching these videos, you're not gonna get a headache from it. This is fantastic. That's why I love this camera. The reason why I hate it is because the batteries don't last at all. The batteries overheat like, I mean, really bad. Really freaking bad. You can't record with this camera for longer than like 5 minutes. If you do, it overheats really bad. So that's why you see a lot of my videos, you know, I'll be talking for a few minutes and then it's gonna be a different shot with a different camera, and then I'm back again with this, and then it's gonna be drone footage, and then it's gonna be this. It's always switch And the reason why, well, it looks more interesting, but there's a bad reason behind it. It's because this thing overheats like insane. It's just no joke. And of course it freezes. Sometimes you turn it on and it starts recording, you turn it off and it doesn't turn off. And you're like, wait a second. You try to turn it off with a power button, you try to turn off recording, you try to turn it off in the app, nothing happened. It just keeps on recording. So you have to actually disassemble this whole thing. Take off the stick, the selfie stick, take it out of the media mode, take out the battery to shut it down. And only that way it will start working again. Yes, and it's been, I mean, I had Hero 7, I think I started with Hero 5, and then I got Hero 7, and then I got Hero 8, and then I got Hero 9, and now it's 10. And it's still the same thing. Come on, GoPro, figure it out already. Alright, moving on to my second camera, and you've seen, if you've seen any of my videos climbing, if not, check it out just to see how it looks. I mean, I don't do any kind of crazy climbing, I guess. Well, to some people it might be crazy because I do free solo, but you know, it's not crazy to me because I pick the routes that I know I can do, and you know, even though I don't know the routes, but still. Anyway, it's the Max 360 camera from GoPro yet again, and yes, just like the Hero 10, it's super buggy. It freezes, it overheats, the batteries don't last, but the footage that you get from this is absolutely insane. And I'm gonna take off the lens cover so you can kind of understand what's the difference between the two. As you can see, there is a lens, big fish eye lens on the back, and a big fish eye lens just like that one at the front. Wait, this is the back, this is the front, compared to your regular GoPro, which just has one. So this records 360, it records everything, like it just everything around you. And you're probably wondering, well, how does it look? How do you make it work? Well, it's a really cool system, actually. Basically, what you do is you record everything around you, 360. So imagine me climbing, and to show you some of the gear that I use in order to make this possible, I'm gonna actually grab one of the selfie sticks that I use as an attachment. Sometimes I use it with my backpack, sometimes I use it with this pouch that I just kind of get around. Good luck getting this around me right now, but something like this. Is this the right way? Yes, this is the right way. So there you go. I have that, and I have the selfie stick sticking around here, and I can obviously adjust the height for it. Height, not the height. And I have my 360 Max mounted here, and then I go and I climb, and it just records the whole thing. Hopefully, if it doesn't freeze. If you're lucky enough and it doesn't freeze, then your whole climb is recorded. So you record the whole thing 360 all the way around, which means it records the sky, it records the back, it records the front, it records everything. And what you do is, once you extract the footage, there's a special media player for the 360 footage, and in that media player you are able to adjust the angles throughout the whole thing. So basically you're creating the timeline and automation that messes with the angles, which you could do some really cool things. For example, imagine this thing sticking out here, recording everything, and then I'm climbing, I put this arm up and I change the angle to this arm, and you see what I'm grabbing onto, what kind of rock, what kind of jug, whatever. And then this arm, and then I switch, and then I switch the back, and then I switch the bottom. So you can see, like, as I'm climbing, you can see all of these different angles around me, and obviously you can imagine how you, out of one footage, you can create, I mean, unlimited amount of video tracks, because now you're like, okay, so on this part, on the 10 second, I was showing this, but now on the 10 second in a different video clip, I'm showing that, and it's the same, me climbing the same thing. Absolutely fantastic feature. Plus, with this thing, you can also use it as a regular GoPro with just the front lens. So if you are getting into GoPro, these two cost pretty much exactly the same. I honestly see no reason buying this if you can just buy this, because this you can record like a regular GoPro, and at the same time you can record 360. I like to have two because I can keep this always at the back and not take it off, makes it easier. But if you want to save money, you can just go with this. And I really do like this camera. Unfortunately, the batteries between the two, you would think that they would be interchangeable, but no, GoPro decided not to make it the case. Okay, so that was the GoPros. Let's move on to the next thing that I use to take some really great shots, especially the climbing, but it's a little bit hard. It's my DJI Mavic Air 2. Yes, and I got it a really good deal. I got it one of them open boxes from Amazon, so I saved like $300 on this. It was unbelievably fantastic deal, and it was nice. It was good because when you just get into the drones, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and I cannot tell you how many mistakes I've done with this. I mean, I crashed it on the floor, I crashed it in the trees, I crashed it in poles, I crashed it in between the rooms. I crashed it a lot, you know. So if you're just now getting into drones, get something that is cheaper, or something that is used, or something that you're not gonna be devastated if you by accident break it, because you might. Seriously, it takes some skill. Like, you really do need to do some learning. One exercise, kind of advanced exercise that kind of got me to more or less comfortable level, is I would start it up in the house, in the middle of the living room, and then I would try to fly around from in between the rooms. And it sounds like easy, but trust me, it's really hard. If you're able to do that without crashing the drone, like, consider yourself more or less ready to do some recording with these things. Keep in mind, this does not record the sound, it only records the video, so it's kind of helpful. You see some of my videos where I have the drone footage, and at the same time I have the sound of me talking. The sound comes from different cameras, either this or that, and then I overlay it with the drone video footage. But the quality is fantastic. You can record in 4K, you can record 1080. I would recommend getting higher capacity micro SD. That's what it takes. It takes a micro SD card. Just because that 4K footage, it can be pretty heavy. I think I got 256 gigs in the drone, and I never run out. But one of the reasons why I got the Air 2 specifically was because it has that feature that I thought was an absolute must-have if I was going to climb and record myself climbing, and it's the auto track. Now, a lot of other drones from DJI, they don't have that auto track feature, and I kind of understand. Like, a lot of people don't use it because, you know, you have your remote, you fly your drone, you record yourself, or you record whatever. You really don't care about the automation of the drone flying itself because you're the controller. But if you're climbing, well, that now becomes a little bit of like, okay, what am I gonna do? Well, this thing comes into play pretty good. And with the auto track, you do get a few other features. And basically what it does is, and you can see most of my videos, I'm gonna put here part of where I was getting a tattoo in Rocky Mountains National Park. I just had this thing circling around. So what you're doing you are selecting the object in your video, and obviously through the controller, through the phone, you're selecting your object on the phone, what the drone sees, and then you have an option to parallel track the object if you're moving, if you're walking, or just follow it, or circling around. So the drone is just nicely, you can set the speed of how fast it flies around the object, and it always keeps the object in the focus, and it just flies around. It was a little bit windy, and it was like 10,000 feet elevation, obviously higher for the drone. It was like 11,000 feet for the drone. So it was struggling a little bit with the wind. You can see it like moving up and down, but nevertheless, it was still capable to handle those altitudes and those winds. It was really windy up there, which I think is just impressive, all right, to say the least. The only thing with the drone is, like I said, you really do need to practice consistently. I would recommend like setting maybe like at least like once a week, just going throughout the house, doing the exercise of being nice and slow, and also taking it out and just flying around and kind of getting used to that drone. But really, that's it, guys. 4 things. It's this ZV-1, which I rarely take on the adventures, my Hero 10 GoPro, which I will probably end up getting another GoPro. It's either gonna be another one of these 360s, just because you can use both as a GoPro, as a regular GoPro, or as a 360, and also my drone. Now the reason why I'm saying I'm gonna get another one of either this or that, depending if the deal is gonna come up, is so that I can do some of those shots where I can leave this GoPro, for example, at the bottom of the climb that I'm doing, and I can do like a time lapse. I never tried that time lapse feature just yet, and I kind of really always wanted to, but I just don't have enough cameras at the moment. But make sure to subscribe to this channel, because yes, as you guys can see, I do consistently try to work on improving the quality of the videos, improving the gear that I have, just to show you, just to share with you, you know, the good stuff, and also, of course, you know, go out there into God's world, the way God created the world, and just appreciate the beauty of the outdoors, of everything that we have around us. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Always appreciate your time. I'll see you guys in the next video.